Today, we're going to go back to a time when horror was just a bit more fun. Coming up next. What is up, everybody? This is Everything Board Games. I am your host, Paul, the Techno Funk Boy. Going to be looking at a tabletop role-playing game today that is harkening back to a time that I have a lot of affection for. This is a time period in cinema, and we're talking about 70s, 80s, early 90s horror films where the movies didn't take themselves too seriously. They definitely wanted to get a rise out of you as cheap as possible, but really had some just with those constrictions of budgets and the genre itself, really had some wonderfully creative and just iconic movies come out that just kind of sit in our collective subconscious even today. This is a product that is really drawing on those nostalgia strings and doing it really, really well. We're going to be talking about VHS. This is stands for very horror stories. This is actually the second campaign for VHS. This one's called Opening Night. The first one was successful and put out a few of these sets. This one is going to come at you with 3 more. As always, I'm going to be putting the links below. First things first, they do have like a sample that you can download that's going to give you the rules as well as 3 adventures from the first set, the ones that originally came out, for you to check out, play with, and to see if it's to your liking. So all those links are below, and in the effort of full disclosure, a PDF copy of those first adventures was provided to me for the purposes of this review. So I'm going to get to there's a lot here. There's a lot here to talk about. I want to talk about the just look and feel of this right now. I put up some images here. I'm definitely a physical media type of a person. A lot of people are more digital. This is going to be one that you really do want to look. You want to look at physical, because each one of these sets, you'll see in the videos on the Kickstarter, each one of these sets does come in what appears to be a VHS tape, and opening it up is going to be filled with everything you need to run this particular set of adventures. But it has it's going to be the effort here is to get you in the mood right away, like it's late night back in 1989, and you've got your Mountain Dew and your popcorn and you're picking a movie out of the shelf. That's what this, that's the feel that they're going for here. Now, as far as what's in them, there are several different collections to choose from. So the original set had 3 collections, and this new set has 3 collections too. Look at the different tiers that on the Kickstarter, and you can actually choose some to kind of mix and match some of the older stuff, some of the newer stuff. But the ones that I took a look at from that first set was one was Bloodlust, and this is kind of the slasher movie feel. Overplague, it's just horror sci-fi. Unchained for kind of supernatural horror. Then the new set is coming out is Dead Break for zombies, Remnants for ghost stories, and Trash Bag for trash horror movies. So when you get this set, you're not getting one adventure that you're going to blow through in 2 hours. There's actually a lot a lot that's included in here. Several different maps, several different villains, and 10 different adventures that are going to pull from these villains on the different maps that you'll go to. Everything here is set up like a film. The intention here is definitely that yes, you're playing a game, but you are creating this 80s horror film. And so to that end, some of them are going to have sequels, and so you're going to be able to pull that same villain from adventure to adventure. The similar characters can reappear in different sections as well. That film focus is going to go even more into the mechanics itself, and I'm not going to be able to go through everything here, but the way that that even fast forwarding and rewinding is going to play into the actual gameplay is clever, and it kind of goes toward the real effort here to set that particular nostalgic mood that I mean, just growing up in that era was always a great time for me. It was always a real treat for me. And so a lot of this is set up the way we would expect any kind of a regular tabletop role-playing game. The mechanics are pretty easy. Each adventure's going to be basically a one shot that is I would say intended to be about movie length. There are mechanics in the game that is every section you go to, there is the potential for a scare, and so the tension creeps up very, very quickly. Most of the adventures also have options for solo runs, and then for group play, and they're designed for different number of players, and so that in and of itself is going to vary from 1 to 5, and so you can kind of pick your adventure based on how many people you have available. There's certain things in the game that are really well done that, moving around carefully, sneaking around does benefit you in that it's safer, but exploring more boldly benefits you for finding more equipment, finding stuff that might help you. And so each adventure kind of takes on a survival horror type aspect to it that you have to figure out how much you are willing to risk for a potential reward versus how much you want to hang back and just hope that you survive just by being missed. And the game seems like it can work for the player either way, depending on how the dice roll, of course, because that's the great equalizer in tabletop role-playing games. I mentioned before, like the first set of these have been were successful through Kickstarter. You can get them on the website. I'll also link to that website here. If you're just looking at it, you're like, no, Unchained, that's Supernatural. That's the thing I'm looking for. But the Kickstarter is going to have a lot of options for you to take a look at this. But the thing that I would really encourage you to do is to get that quick start from them and take a look at it, because the way all the mechanics work together and build a world in a very, very short period of time, build tension in a very short period of time is is quite well done. This is almost an aside, but I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to mention it. So, you know, the theme of the movie is predominant in all of this. And so on your character sheet, it not only has your character name, it actually has your actor's name on it, because the actor playing the character in the movie is intended to be a character too. And so, look, depending on what kind of table you're running, y'all can ignore that. But if you want that feel of making the movie, you know, you're out of character. Okay, this sounds weird, but your out of character dialogue can be in character, just the actor. So that's I think this is a really fun aspect to it, and allows you to insert yet another personality into the mix, and who can comment on what's going on in everything, while not being an actual character in it, but still present. That's the kind of attention to detail that I really love about this, and there's so many different things like that I can bring up here that really don't have a ton of time to do so, but it's very, very clear. It's very, very clear by by these games that Ace's game is trying to create. Is trying to recreate that feeling, and frankly, I think they succeed really, really nicely. This is one that I just think was a total home run, and I really encourage you to take a look at the Kickstarter. See if this is the sort of thing that interests you. Take a look at how the game's actually played, and I think that, especially if you are a fan of this sort of horror film, I think that you're going to really, really enjoy it. So, everythingboardgames.com, please check in there for more reviews, more news, all sorts of things regarding to the board game world. If you have not subscribed on YouTube, please do so. Hit that thumbs up below. If you've made it this far, if you've made it this far in the review, comment down below of what of the 70s and 80s horror films is your favorite, and I'll be very interested in checking those out. So thank you again for hanging out, and until next time, have a good day.